The lights fade, whispers rise, and the room that never leaks a secret suddenly feels like it's about to burst. This isn't the kind of rumor fans scroll past and forget. This is the moment when everything snaps. In our dramatized retelling, a message thread, a forgotten voicemail, and a confrontation collide like thunder in a glass house. Fans are shocked, emotions run high, and the family is left divided as whispers about Kelly Rowland and Jay-Z crash into Beyoncé's world like a wave that refuses to pull back. Phones ping, stylists freeze, security clears hallways. Behind, a closed door, voices push and pull between loyalty and betrayal, between history and a truth no one wanted to face. The secret is no longer just a headline. It's a fracture line running through decades of music, sisterhood, and empire building. It begins with speculation online. Fans compare Kelly's son Titan to Jay-Z. The jawline, the eyes, the nose. For years, whispers were brushed aside as baseless. But then a grainy video clip leaks, allegedly showing Jay and Kelly in a moment too close for comfort. It lasts only seconds, but that's enough to ignite a firestorm. Social media explodes. Hashtags trend. Old interviews of Beyoncé and Kelly are pulled apart, frame by frame. Fans desperate to find proof of hidden tension. Backstage during rehearsal, the tension boils over. Beyoncé rehearses silently, her movements sharp, her face unreadable. When the final note ends, she dismisses the dancers. Kelly steps forward cautiously. "B, can we talk?" she asks. Beyoncé's reply is soft but heavy. "Is there something you need to tell me?" Kelly hesitates, voice shaking. "Things got complicated. I didn't mean for this to happen." The silence that follows is louder than any scream. Rumors spread fast. Solange, fiercely protective of her sister, reportedly lashes out at Jay, accusing him of destroying not just his marriage, but the bond between Bey and Kelly. Tabloids churn with headlines. Fans split between defending Kelly and condemning her. Lyrics from Kelly's Dirty Laundry are re-examined, seen as hidden confessions. Beyoncé's fans turn ruthless online, attacking Kelly with betrayal memes. Kelly stays silent, but her absence from public events speaks louder than words. Jay too remains silent, and his silence fuels the storm further. Inside their home, Beyoncé confronts him directly. "I can forgive many things, but betrayal with family is something else. You didn't just hurt me, you broke something sacred." Jay insists, "It's not what it looks like, but the damage is done." Kelly breaks down privately with friends, whispering, "I've lost her. I don't know how to get her back." Her pain mirrors Beyoncé's silence. Rumors swirl that Kelly is cut off from projects linked to the Carters. Beyoncé appears at a charity gala in a white gown, alone. Fans call it a silent message. Then a leaked old recording surfaces, allegedly of Kelly confiding, "I love her like a sister, but sometimes the people closest to us test us the most." The internet erupts again. Beyoncé and Kelly meet once more in private. Bey's voice trembles. "Why didn't you stop it before it began?" Kelly insists she never wanted to hurt her, but the silence between them speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Titan becomes the cruel center of speculation. Memes spread, dissecting his resemblance to Jay. Kelly retreats from social media after relentless bullying. Solange speaks in a live stream. "Families don't get to choose their scars, but they choose whether the wound keeps bleeding." Her words spark new debates. An alleged audio clip emerges of Jay and Kelly arguing, "We can't keep doing this." "Then stop asking me to wait." It goes viral. When Beyoncé sees it, she only whispers, "I already knew." Destiny's Child reunion talks collapse. Contracts are shaken. Kelly records a late-night confession to a friend. "I wish I could erase it all." When leaked, fans claim it's proof of guilt. Beyoncé unfollows her on social media. The headlines scream, "Sisterhood is dead." The morning after Beyoncé's quiet unfollow, The internet didn't just notice, it erupted. The Bayhive, known for dissecting every gesture, every outfit, every lyric, turned this one silent click into a cultural earthquake. "The sisterhood is dead," one viral headline declared. "Destiny's Child no more," another echoed. Fans began flooding timelines with throwback clips of Beyoncé and Kelly performing together, comparing those radiant smiles of the early 2000s to the icy silence of today. "How did we get here?" a fan asked in a viral thread that racked up 500,000 likes overnight. "We went from survivor to betrayal." Inside the Carter estate, the atmosphere was colder than the headlines. Sources whispered that Beyoncé kept her studio lights burning all night, scrawling fragmented lyrics on crumpled papers. She was crying and writing at the same time, one insider claimed. Every line sounded like a goodbye wrapped in fire. In another part of the mansion, Jay paced the floor with his phone buzzing non-stop. His team screaming about damage control, sponsors threatening to back out, tabloids spinning the narrative faster than he could control. He slammed the phone down more than once. "This isn't about contracts," he barked at an advisor. "This is about my family falling apart." And miles away, Kelly Rowland stared at her own phone in silence. She hadn't posted since the scandal broke, hadn't dared to respond to the tidal wave of accusations crashing against her. She looked pale, like she hadn't slept in days, a close friend whispered. She kept saying, "I never wanted it like this. I never wanted to lose her." But the world wasn't slowing down for anyone's grief. Within 48 hours, a new leak surfaced. A blurry audio clip allegedly from a heated phone call between Kelly and Jay. The voices were muffled, but fans swore they could hear Jay saying, "We can't keep doing this," and a woman answering, "It's too late, it already happened." Whether real or fabricated didn't matter. The internet had already judged. "Confirmation," one tweet declared. "Receipts," another demanded. Meanwhile, Solange was no longer silent. In a late-night Instagram story, she posted a cryptic line, "You can lie to the world, but you can't lie to blood." The post vanished within minutes, but not before it was screenshotted and shared thousands of times. Fans immediately connected it back to the infamous elevator fight. Convinced now more than ever that Solange had always known the truth. Emotions ran high across fan bases. Beyoncé's supporters swarmed Kelly's old music videos with angry comments, turning her most celebrated tracks into battlegrounds of betrayal. Kelly's defenders fought back, insisting she was being scapegoated for Jay's choices, pointing out how often women were blamed while powerful men stayed silent. "Jay's the common denominator," one viral post argued. Kelly didn't build this mess alone. The tension wasn't just online. Insiders leaked that Beyoncé had confronted Jay in a late-night showdown. "You broke my marriage, my family, and now my sisterhood," she allegedly told him, voice shaking but strong. Jay's response, according to the source, was chilling in its simplicity. "I made mistakes, but don't let the world tear us apart." Beyoncé's reply was ice cold. "The world didn't tear us apart. You did." And yet the story took an even darker twist when paparazzi captured Kelly leaving a church in Los Angeles with her son Titan. The photos, grainy but heartbreaking, showed Kelly in oversized sunglasses, clutching Titan's hand as the boy shielded his face from cameras. Headlines screamed, "Kelly seeks salvation," while others mocked her attempt at peace. Cruel comments flooded in. Does he even know who his real father is? Titan, innocent in all of this, had become collateral damage in a scandal he never asked for. The industry, too, began to fracture under the weight of the drama. Whispers spread that Destiny's Child reunion plans had been quietly shelved. "No label wants to touch it right now," one producer admitted. "The brand is radioactive." Sponsorships tied to Jay began wobbling, with one luxury brand allegedly pulling back a multi-million-dollar deal. "The risk is too high," said an insider. "This isn't just gossip anymore. its reputation, its legacy. Then came the most shocking twist yet. A leaked set of emails allegedly showed Jay's team scrambling years ago to suppress potential stories about secret affairs. One email read, "Make sure the tabloids stay quiet on this one. Too close to home." The timing of the leak was devastating. Fans connected it directly to Kelly, fueling the narrative that the truth had been buried for nearly a decade. And in the middle of it all, Beyoncé finally made a public move. At a high-profile charity gala, she arrived alone, without Jay at her side, and without Kelly anywhere in sight. Dressed in a stunning black gown, she walked the carpet with a quiet poise, but her expression was unreadable. Still, fans interpreted everything. "Black for mourning," one commentator speculated. Mourning the death of her trust, her sisterhood. Every photo from that night went viral. Captions screaming about hidden meanings, coded messages, and silent declarations of war. Behind the scenes, sources whispered that Beyoncé had cut Kelly off from future projects tied to the Carter brand. Her name was allegedly erased from schedules, campaigns, even collaborative credits. "It was exile," one insider said bluntly. The line was drawn. Kelly was out. But the story refused to settle. Within days, another bombshell surfaced. An alleged recording from years earlier, with Kelly's voice saying, "I love her like a sister, but sometimes the people closest to us are the ones who test us the most." The internet split again. Some swore it was proof of a long-hidden confession. Others argued it was fake, twisted to keep the scandal alive. Either way, the damage was irreversible. Back at the Carters' home, the atmosphere was heavy, suffocating. Insiders whispered that Beyoncé spent nights locked in her studio, building songs that carried venom in every line. Jay, cornered from all sides, reportedly begged her for forgiveness, but his words fell flat. "You can't unbreak family," she told him one night, her voice soft but final. And as for Kelly, she vanished from social media entirely. Her silence became its own statement, one that fans and critics twisted endlessly. Some called it guilt, others called it dignity. But to those who knew her, it was simply survival. "She's drowning," a close friend admitted. "She doesn't know how to fight back without losing everything." The family was left divided. The empire cracked, and fans around the world couldn't look away. The question now wasn't whether the scandal was true or false. It was how much more was waiting to surface. And everyone knew the next revelation was only a headline away. Days passed, but the silence only made the noise louder. Kelly Rowland's absence from social media became the loudest statement of all. Every blog, every gossip site, every fan forum dissected her silence like a riddle that had to be solved. "Is she hiding because she's guilty?" one headline asked. Another countered, "Or is she staying silent because speaking would destroy everything?" Either way, her silence became the canvas onto which millions painted their own version of truth. But behind closed doors, silence was not peace. Insiders whispered that Kelly broke down in tears during a late-night studio session, surrounded by half-written lyrics and empty coffee cups. "I never wanted this," she reportedly sobbed to a confidant. "I've lost her, and I don't know how to get her back." Those words, once leaked, spread like wildfire, igniting fresh debates across social media. Was she confessing? Or was she mourning a friendship poisoned by rumors too heavy to erase? Meanwhile, Beyoncé was channeling her pain the only way she knew how: through her art. Reports from inside her circle described her recording late into the night, her voice raw and unpolished, every lyric sharper than the last. "She's building something dangerous," one insider admitted. "If lemonade was fire, this is lava. She's not just writing songs, she's writing confessions." Fans speculated that a new visual album was in the works, one that would spill truths the world wasn't ready to hear. Jay, however, was unraveling in a different way. The mogul who once controlled every narrative now looked like a man running from his own shadow. His lawyers scrambled, his advisors panicked, but Jay stayed uncharacteristically quiet. "Silence is guilt," fans tweeted, dissecting his every public appearance. One photo of him leaving a private meeting in New York went viral, his face buried in his hands. The caption read, "The empire is cracking." The story took another explosive twist when a major tabloid released screenshots of alleged text messages between Jay and Kelly from years ago. "You're the only one who understands me," one message read. Another, allegedly from Kelly, said, "This can't continue. She'll find out." Whether real or fabricated, the screenshots detonated like a bomb. Fans flooded comment sections. With outrage, hashtags like "Web Betrayal Beyond" trended worldwide, and old videos of Destiny's Child interviews were dragged back into circulation as evidence. At the same time, Solange decided she was done with ambiguity. In a live stream that drew hundreds of thousands of viewers, she spoke directly into the camera. "Families don't heal by pretending," she said, her eyes burning with conviction. "You can't bandage betrayal with silence, not when it's already cut this deep." Though she never mentioned names, fans didn't need her to. The implication was clear, and the internet crowned her the truth teller of the family, the one unafraid to voice what everyone else avoided. The fallout from her words was immediate. Supporters cheered her bravery, while critics accused her of fueling the fire. But one thing was certain: the silence around the scandal had been shattered even further, and now the public demanded more. The media frenzy grew so intense that even industry insiders began to distance themselves from the Carters' empire. One luxury fashion brand, once eager to partner with Jay, pulled out of negotiations, citing brand concerns. A record label executive was quoted anonymously saying, "This isn't just a scandal, it's radioactive. Nobody wants to touch it." For Kelly, the isolation was suffocating. Paparazzi captured her leaving a hotel one evening, tears streaking her face as Titan clutched her hand tightly. The image went viral within minutes, with captions like, "A mother under siege," and "Traitor or victim." Titan's face, once shielded from public scrutiny, was now a battleground of speculation. People zoomed in on his features, comparing them side by side with Jay's in endless memes. Strangers debated his identity as if he were a character in a TV show, not a child living through chaos. Beyonce, meanwhile, remained a fortress of composure in public. But those closest to her knew the storm she carried inside. One insider described a scene in her home where she turned to Jay, eyes filled with fire. "I can forgive many things," she told him, voice low but trembling. "But betrayal with family? You've broken something sacred." Jay's response was muted, almost desperate. "It's not what it looks like." Beyoncé's reply was sharp, final. "It doesn't matter what it looks like. It matters what it feels like, and it feels like a knife." The divide between Beyoncé and Kelly became impossible to ignore when they both appeared at a private industry event. For the first time, the two women who had once harmonized like sisters stood at opposite ends of the room, their gazes carefully avoiding each other. The photo leaked within hours, captioned simply, "Destiny's End." Fans gasped, some mourning. The loss of a bond they had idolized for decades. Others feasting on the drama as if it were a season finale. But the most shocking revelation came when a mysterious audio file surfaced online. In it, a woman's voice, believed to be Kelly, confessed to a friend, "I love her like blood, but sometimes love isn't enough to stop the storm." The internet split in two. Some heard it as proof of betrayal, others as a cry of regret. Either way, it added fuel to a fire already raging out of control. Inside the Carter household, the silence between Beyoncé and Jay grew heavier by the day. She poured herself into work, while he drowned in meetings with advisors who had no solutions. "We bury this," he reportedly told his team. "We protect the family." But even his closest confidants doubted his conviction. "The family isn't protected," one of them whispered. "It's already broken." As the days blurred together, The world watched like an audience glued to the most dramatic reality show ever aired. Fans camped outside the Carter's mansion. Tabloids refreshed their headlines by the hour, and social media became a war zone of theories, accusations, and defenses. "The empire is collapsing," one commentator declared. "Not from the outside, but from within." And then, just when it seemed the story couldn't escalate any further, a new witness stepped into the spotlight. An industry insider claimed, under oath, that he had witnessed Jay and Kelly together at a private party years ago. "They weren't just friends," he said, voice steady. "I saw it with my own eyes." Gasps filled the courtroom. Jay slammed his fist on the table, shouting, "Lies!" But his outburst only made things worse. The headlines wrote themselves, "Jay cracks under pressure." Beyonce watched the footage from afar, her face unreadable. But insiders claimed her silence wasn't detachment. It was planning. "She's not broken," one confidant said. "She's building. And when she's ready, she'll tell her side. In her own way, in her own words." For Kelly, the weight of the scandal grew unbearable. One night, she recorded a voice note to a close friend, her voice shaking. "I wish I could go back. I wish I could erase it all. But I can't." The friend, whether out of betrayal or fear, leaked the audio. Within hours, it went viral, adding another layer of chaos to an already unstoppable storm. The family was left more divided than ever, the fans more desperate for answers, and the empire more fragile by the second. The question that haunted everyone wasn't whether the secret was real or fabricated. It was whether the bonds that had built one of the most powerful legacies in music could ever be repaired. As the world waited for answers, the scandal twisted, again in ways no one expected.